Okay, I'm going to give you a couple prime examples of why you don't take the lowball orders. Now, lowball could be anything from the $2-3 that you know for sure are crap, to a good $10-12 order that you would think would normally be good, but it's not because it's a long distance. There's no tip on it. It's a bad area. It's a bad restaurant. Whatever you whatever you think it is. But anyway, first one is a couple days ago. It was late night. It's probably about 12:30, almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I was in Monroe Falls, just about to turn on Monroe Falls Boulevard from 91 to drop off an order. Grubhub goes off for $9 and some change to go to the East Exchange subway, the only subway that's open 24 hours. I'm looking at it, and it looks like it's okay price wise for the time and distance. It's not bad. If you realize that you can only use a drive-through at that subway at that time of night, it wasn't worth it anyway. But anyway, I looked at it, and Grubhub lets you see the tip. So for those of you that don't do Grubhub, you get to see the tip. Unlike DoorDash where you don't. So I click over to the name. It's kind of a good and bad thing, I click over the name. It shows a $0 tip. I'm just immediately get pissed off. I'm not driving all the way downtown Akron to this subway 1 o'clock in the morning for no tip. Not doing it. So I decline it, and I continue about my business with the DoorDash orders that I had. And that's all I get because I'm already off my block. I've been off my block for a couple hours now, but I'm still logged on. So that's all I get for a little bit. I get a couple more DoorDash orders. And there's a couple good ones where I declined a couple and immediately got a good one afterwards. So there's the main thing for it. It's like you decline it right afterwards, you get a good one for sometimes the same place, which I'll get into in a second. But I take another, I think, DoorDash for $12 for Marco's and deliver that one. And then as I'm dropping that one off, I think it's Hidden Lake in Stowe. If you're familiar with that area, it's down on Fish Creek close to Hudson. I get a $21, $22 order for that Subway again. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to take it because I'm about done for the night. But $20, I'm going to take it. So I click on it. It's the exact same name, no tip. Nobody took this order. There's either no drivers out or everybody else thought the same thing I did and did not take this order. So Grubhub had to put an $8 bonus or something on there, whatever it was, $8, $9 bonus on there to jump it from $9. And I was farther away, so I got a little more mileage. So, I took it. Drop it off. Obviously, no tip, no cash tip, nothing, but whatever. Now, the hindsight on that one is that line was long as hell. Subway having a drive-through is kind of like just as pointless as Steak and Shake, and Popeyes having a drive-through. It's horrible. So there's the first example. Second example is today, just about within the last half hour. I was at Speedway on East Exchange Street getting gas, and DoorDash goes off. I turned on DoorDash because I wasn't getting any Grubhubs, so I flipped on DoorDash. Immediately goes off for $5 for pulp with a 1.1 mile total trip. And I said, what the hell? It's pulp. I'm going to take it. So I finished pumping my gas, go inside, get a drink. Got some new sunglasses. As I'm walking around, it goes off for an add-on for $2 for that Chipotle. Now, if you're familiar with the area, you know that Chipotle is 2 doors down for 1.6 extra miles. And there's absolutely no way in hell I'm taking a $2 order. I don't care if it's going to the same house. Because that is absolutely ridiculous, and it's an insult to the drivers all across the board. I don't care. $2 tips or $2 orders, do not take them. Period. So I decline it fast as I can decline it. Immediately goes off for a double order for $9 for Chipotle. A $9 double order doesn't seem all that great. They're going to the exact same house. The boyfriend and girlfriend ordered separate Chipotle orders. Both tip the same. Obviously, you get $1 less for the add-on. So it was 5-4. So immediately got that. As I'm picking up the pulp, what is it? Grubhub goes off for a double order for Hibachi Express on Brown Street for $8 and some change. And if you look at the map, you see Hibachi, and then you see the two places down here. Absolutely not worth it. That Hibachi Express is not even worth an $8 trip for one order, let alone two. So I declined that one. Get the Hibachi, put it in my car, walk 2 doors down in the same building to Chipotle. Tell them the 2 names that I got. They're both ready. Walk right out the door. As I'm walking out the door, Grubhub goes off for Spaghetti Warehouse, which is I'm in the parking lot right now. And I'm just taking a few minutes to do this while I'm parked, because I figured some of you guys might want to understand why we stress not to take those orders. So anyway, it goes off for Spaghetti Warehouse, which for $21. Now just to let you know, every one of these orders so far, I didn't see how far away this Spaghetti Warehouse one is, but anyway, the pulp was a mile away from pulp. The double order for Chipotle, obviously same place. Now that's going to be a rarity, but that was less than a mile away. And then after I dropped off those orders, Spaghetti Warehouse was less than a mile away from those orders. So if you pay attention to what you're doing and what you're picking up and what you're dropping off, this is also good for those people who ask me how I do this. The way I do it, I screw myself up a lot trying to do 2 orders at the same time, and I'm sure I piss off a few customers by being late, because I'm not giving up this $12 order, or this $20 order, but I got to finish the one I'm on, and I'm going to fly over there and get stuck at every freaking red light and scream my head off. But anyway, the point of this is, if it does not seem worth your time, I base mine off of time. Some people base everything off of mileage, and it's not worth the mileage, not worth the gas. I base it off the time. I need to make a minimum of $20 an hour, is what I base everything off of. So if it's going to be 8 miles straight down the highway, $8, $6, $7, $8 is worth it. Typically, if it's going to be 8 miles through downtown Akron and Cuyahoga Falls and Talmadge and whatever, all stop and go traffic, it's not worth $7, $8. It's going to be a lot more. So you got to figure your time. Your best way to do that, you can look at the mileage on DoorDash because it shows you the mileage, but on Grubhub it doesn't show you the mileage. So if you can stop, your best thing to do. I'm not going to tell you to do this while you're driving, like I do. But if you can stop, input the address for Grubhub pickup and input the address for the Grubhub drop-off in your Google map, because you can add a stop, and then see how long it's going to take you to do it. If it's going to take you a half hour to do the whole thing, start from where you're at to where you're dropping it off, and you've already figured in about 5 minutes or so, so 25-minute drive, 5 minutes extra to cover your butt with the restaurant, and then pick up drop-off times. You got a half hour, you're looking at about $10 minimum. That's if it's slow. Honestly, you want to give yourself some variance there. So you got to be kind of mindful of what you're doing when you do it. So, but the whole purpose of this was so I didn't have to type it all out like I like to do and write stories that nobody wants to probably read. So don't take the orders that aren't worth it. Figure out what you want to make an hour, and how much your gas is. If you're driving a little Prius, your gas definitely isn't going to bother you too much. If you're driving a big F-250, I don't know why you'd be doing that while doing this, but then again, I can't say anything. I'm driving a Benz. So, but I average about 19, 20 miles a gallon, which is not horrible. It's not great for doing this job, but it's not terrible. And premium really isn't much more expensive if you look at it, especially if you live through 2009 and paying $5 a gallon almost for on an Explorer like I did. So I like to figure out my time. I'm like, each order needs to be the equivalent of $20 an hour or more for me to even consider taking it. And then you got to factor in the things like Popeyes. You got to factor in Steak and Shake. Stupid things like that. The restaurants you don't want to go to because they suck. The restaurants you do like to go to because they're good. I'm willing to take a little bit less on one because I like to go to these restaurants. There's times I like to go to the Hibachi Express on East Talmadge, so I'll take a $7-8 order there, even if it doesn't quite equal out what I want it to be, just because I like that restaurant. I won't take it if it's not really worth it. If it's going to be like it's going to take me 25-30 minutes, there's no way in hell I'm taking a $7 order. But if it's a little bit under, I'll take it. I'll go to restaurants that I like to go to if it's somewhat convenient, but not quite where I want to be, just because I like it and it's still making money. I'll go to the South Arlington Street Popeyes over the North Howard Street any day. If you see back what I posted today, it worked out very well. So anyway, I got to pick up my food because now I'm just wasting time, and now I'm just rambling because I do that, but whatever. So anyway, I hope everybody's making money. I'm having a much better day than I was yesterday. Probably not quite as good as I had Monday, but I'm hoping everybody else is having a great day. Listen to the people that have been doing this a while. If you're just new, take their advice. Don't just take everything. Don't worry about your acceptance rate. It doesn't matter. Being a top dasher is only good for one thing, and that's dashing whenever you want. And if it's not busy in that area, there's no point in you dashing whenever you want. Honestly, other than you can just log in when you want to and log out when you want to and back in and back out as you see fit, and hopefully make some money. But I've been a top dasher for a couple months. I'm not anymore. I don't care. So the people that are telling you don't worry about it, don't worry about it. I would log in and I would sit. So I schedule my Grubhubs just because it's convenient. It's once a week to do the whole week. I schedule those. I go out. If DoorDash is red and Grubhub is not putting out enough, I'll turn on DoorDash. If you want to back up and you can't get on Grubhub and you're on DoorDash, or you can't get on DoorDash and you're on Grubhub, add Uber Eats. That's a decent backup. Postmates sucks, period. But once in a blue moon, I'll turn it on if there's some good bonuses, which is very rare anymore. So pay attention. If you want to do both at the same time, I leave them both on. If I get a Grubhub that is far away, or the pickup or the drop off is far away from where I'm at, I will pause DoorDash. And if I don't get back on, I don't get back on. If my 35 minutes run out, my 35 minutes run out. The one thing I don't do is I don't ever pause Grubhub, because Grubhub doesn't hound you like DoorDash does or Postmates does about getting to the pickup on time. So you have some time. That's the other thing. You need to pay attention to your drop-offs, not your pickups. Pickup times. Your drop-off times, not your pickup times. So anyway, I went on a tangent about other things. My whole purpose of this video was to tell you why you don't want to take the cheapy orders. So don't take the cheapy orders. Have a good day.